don't.
You want
Yeah,
to see my website?
yeah. I'll look at your
Gorgeous.
website. Can you actually do more of what I'm saying?
It's my website.
I know. I keep looking at your website. And yes, right.
Hi. So, welcome to my final project. Please give these guys a big round of applause. They've worked incredibly hard. Let's go. I'd like to propose a toast. Here's to the ladies who lunch, everybody laugh, lounging in their kaftans and planning a brunch on their own behalf. Off to the gym, then to a fitting, claiming their fat and looking grand, 'cause they've been sitting, choosing a hat. Does anyone still wear a hat? I'll drink to that. And here's to the girls who stay smart, aren't they a gas? Rushing to their classes in optical art, wishing it would pass. Another long, exhausting day, another $1,000 related to Stephen Sondheim's life at work. Born in 1930s New York, his career began writing incidental TV music in Hollywood. But he took up writing collaboratively with Leonard Bernstein in West Side Story and later on Gypsy. After Sondheim's first solo success with A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum, writing both score and lyrics, he formed a partnership with Harold Prince, producing Company. Sondheim himself described Company as not a show but an essay about love, and it broke conventional rules of musical theatre for the time, having no progression from point A to point B, but simply just following Bobby and his story about love. The Ladies Who Lunch is sung by Joanne, traditionally, the maternal figure who's kind of emotionally removed. She sings out of frustration to her husband, who has danced the night away with much younger women. But his next show, continuing his portfolio with Prince, explored wildly opposite themes, but was similarly controversial. The ever gruesome Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of Fleet Street. Despite being set in its hometown, British critics slated Sondheim's musical for its disturbingly gruesome themes, forcing it to close after a brief 3-month run in the West End. However, retrospectively, critics view the piece as Sondheim's hidden gem, his unrecognised magnum opus. This led to the creation of what some call Sondheim guilt syndrome, where, in his later work, the flaws of which were ignored simply because it was Sondheim and he had been at disadvantage earlier. Joanna Quartet comes in the second act of the musical and shows Todd's paternal and Anthony's romantic longing for the princess locked in a tower, Joanna. By the end of the song, Todd comes to terms with the fact he cannot be with his daughter because she is the image of her dead mother, and the pain would be too great for Todd to bear. Our next song, however, is very thematically different. This song, sung by desperately in love Mrs. Lovett, as she attempts to convince Todd of an idyllic future for the two of them, far away from the murderous barbershop and the twisted pie shop of London, somewhere by the sea.
Mr. Todd, I'm so happy I could eat you up, I really could. You know what I like to do, Mr. Todd, what a dream. If the business stays as good, where I really like to go. In a year or so. Don't you wanna know?
Of course.
Do you really wanna know?
Yes, I do.